The thrilling chase ended when the police stopped his car, but he still refused to stop the show and even fired a welcome shot. The police did not hesitate to return fire, and Mr. Conkle decided to play big, driving towards them as if to create more drama. Finally, Mr. Conkle crashed straight into the wall, ending his self-directed action movie. It's just a shame that this ending doesn't have a sequel. On December 30th, 2022, in Las Vegas, an ordinary day suddenly turned dramatic when William Allen Conkle, 60 years old, decided to audition for the lead role in an action movie of his own. After being caught pointing a gun at a person near Nellis and Bonanza Streets, police immediately became involved. However, instead of cooperation, Mr. Conkle thought the car chase was much more dramatic.
Hey Ron, just pull that up and put it to the shoulder.
On the morning of November 9, 2023, in Bradley Beach, New Jersey, an unforgettable scene occurred when Police Chief Leonard Guida, not wearing a uniform and looking somewhat disheveled, suddenly appeared on the scene. An accident. The driver was later charged with drunk driving, but no one expected the story to be more dramatic than that. Chief Guida, allegedly drunk again, decides to criticize Sergeant William Major because his police jacket no longer looks appropriate. The two then had an argument right on the hood of the patrol car, where the words exchanged were no less heated. In the video, Sergeant Major even warns the sheriff, "Get out of here, or you'll be locked up." As a result, Chief Guida decided to suspend Sergeant Major, but after that, Sergeant Major was allowed to continue his duties as if nothing had happened. Following the investigation, Chief Guida was placed on paid administrative leave. And with a salary of $202,500 a year, perhaps he will have time to reflect on how to handle this situation more calmly. On November 22, 2023, in Seattle, police pursued a stolen vehicle in connection with a shooting and theft. The chase ended when police stopped the vehicle in a pit maneuver. The 32-year-old male suspect was arrested, the female passenger was released, and no one was injured, including the 3 dogs in the car. Police also recovered multiple guns from the vehicle. On the morning of March 21, 2024, in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Carl Kludinsky, 44, called to report that he had killed someone in a hotel room at a Holiday Inn Express and threatened to kill anyone who came near my room. As the police approached with weapons at the ready, Kludinsky opened the door, held his phone and pointed his gun at them, leading to a tense gun battle. After returning fire from inside the room, Kludinsky was found dead when the SWAT team entered the room. During the conflict, one police officer was hit by gunfire and later released from the hospital, while another police officer suffered minor injuries unrelated to the gunfire.
How you guys doing? You guys just getting off of work? You guys just getting off of work? Okay, you both have Summit Remodeling.
On March 21, 2024, Officer Austin Williams responded to Sam's Club in Provo to check the welfare of a man, Emiliano Medina, who was walking around the parking lot. Medina suddenly took the policeman's gun and punched him in the head before running away. 2 passers-by intervened, wrestled Medina to the ground, and helped Williams arrest him. Medina, now facing multiple charges, asked "Kill me" while at the hospital and doesn't remember his actions.
Is 602 Alpha Golf Romeo, 602 AGR. 20's going to be at Chester Hospital.
On July 11, 2024, in Chester, South Carolina, Chester County Sheriff's deputies stopped Eric Bernard Jones' vehicle for a suspended license. When asked to exit the vehicle, Jones fled and the pursuit ended when he damaged the vehicle at Ashford Road. Police and K9 dog Sammy arrested Jones without further incident. In the car, police seized 112 grams of fentanyl, 56 grams of methamphetamine, $4,373, and some narcotics. Body camera footage released by the Spokane Police Department on Wednesday shows Sergeant Eric Canberg dealing with an intoxicated individual when another person approaches and intervenes. During the incident, which lasted nearly 4 minutes, Sergeant Canberg repeatedly asked the intervener to stay away and was hit on the arm. Finally, after the man fled, Sergeant Canberg caught up and arrested him. On the morning of February 17, 2024, in Bay Shore, New York, police responded to a domestic violence incident on Udall Road. Takel Woodson, 33, opened the door wielding a knife and baton and stabbed a police officer multiple times in the arm. Another officer used a stun gun, but it was ineffective, and a third officer opened fire on Woodson, killing him at the hospital. The officer who was stabbed was taken to Stony Brook University Hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. At the scene, police recovered the knife and said the bulletproof vest saved their lives. At Fort Lupton, Colorado, newly released video shows a serious accident where a freight train crashed into a police patrol car with a 20-year-old woman, Maria Rios Gonzalez, in handcuffs, hands in the back seat. The incident occurred after Platteville police stopped Rios Gonzalez near Highway 85 and County Road 38 due to an incident involving a gun. 2 Fort Lupton police officers put Rios Gonzalez into a Platteville patrol car, which was illegally parked on railroad tracks. While 3 policemen searched her car, the train whistle sounded. A police officer realized the car was on the tracks and tried to warn. Rios Gonzalez suffered serious injuries, with multiple broken ribs and sternum. The video also shows officers searching the car and finding a bullet and a gun holster near the driver's side door. The Platteville police officer is on administrative leave while the investigation is conducted. In Niagara Falls, New York, police body camera video captured an incident on Friday when Reginald Barnes, 29, lunged at police with a knife after violating a protective order. Officer Greg Paul and Lieutenant Joseph Sibilia opened fire on Barnes, seriously injuring him and causing him to fall to the grass. On August 6, 2022, in Forsyth County, Georgia, police discovered a Ford Fusion driving erratically on GA 400 with 4 women inside, reported to have been shoplifted. Outlets. When the police asked to stop, the driver ran away. After a short chase, police performed a precision immobilization technique PIT and arrested the vehicle's occupants. Those arrested include Brinaldia Stevens, 27 years old Deshauna Hurd, 20 years old Jasmine Canty, 21 years old, and Marquita Thomas, 23 years old. On July 6, 2023, in Deltona, Florida, a sheriff's deputy stopped a black Mercedes belonging to Michael Becht, 23, because the license plate was temporarily obscured. When police asked Becht to stop at a nearby shopping center, he ran away.
Did you see a black Mercedes go this way? Which way? That way?
After fleeing through multiple roads and weaving on I-4, Becht finally stopped at the intersection of Nova and Bevel. Sheriff Mike Chitwood, not in uniform and wearing a Daytona Tortugas t-shirt, pulled Becht out of the car. Becht confessed to his actions and was charged with fleeing and driving with a suspended license. He was held at the Volusia County Branch Jail on $5,500 bail.
Coming up on your ears. I got my tag.
On September 10, 2022, in Willoughby, Ohio, Officer Stace Wright stopped David Kubek, 64, for speeding.
Have a seat. I'm not sitting.
When Wright asked Kubek to sit down, Kubek did not comply, pointed his finger in her face and pushed her. A struggle ensued, and 4 citizens stopped to help restrain Kubek until more police arrived. Kubek was arrested on charges of assaulting a police officer, resisting arrest and speeding 57 mph in a 35 mph zone. On June 16, 2023, in Marion County, Florida, Deputy Robert Bosniak stopped the vehicle of Christopher North, 34, for a traffic violation. North initially stopped the car but then fled at high speed. Deputy Bosniak pursued and arrested North after he stopped again. During a search, police discovered North had approximately 85 grams of marijuana and did not have a valid driver's license. North was charged with fleeing, possession of marijuana over 20 grams and driving without a license. He is being held at the Marion County Jail on $4,500 bail.
If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to execute these rights, not answer any questions or make any statements. Chris, you understand each of the rights I just explained to you? With those rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me?
On August 21, 2022, in Greensboro, North Carolina, Corporal M.L. Sletton stopped a white Nissan Altima driven by Nisanto Antonio Crenshaw. When Crenshaw failed to comply with orders to stop and flee, Corporal Sletton continued the pursuit. The Nissan then stopped, but as Corporal Sletton approached, the driver reversed, crashed into his patrol car and then accelerated towards Corporal Sletton. In self-defense, Corporal Sletton fired 3 shots at the vehicle. Crenshaw was shot and the car stopped. Corporal Sletton requested assistance and gave Crenshaw first aid, but he died at the scene. A passenger in the car was not injured and another subject ran away. At 12:51 a.m. on June 17, 2024, in Vancouver, Washington, a patrol officer received a report from 3 people of a man named Jonathan West Nelson, 40, pulling a gun on him. Them in the McDonald's parking lot. When police found Nelson walking on Neandreasen Street, they asked him over the loudspeaker to stop, but Nelson refused. When police deployed K-9 Remy to approach, Nelson pulled out a gun and grabbed a knife, leading 4 police officers to open fire on him. Nelson was seriously injured and died at the hospital. K-9 Remy was also injured but recovered well. No police or other bystanders were injured. On April 24, 2018, in Florida, Officer Vanessa Franceschi was conducting a traffic stop when an unknown suspect intentionally hit the back of her patrol car with his Honda Civic. Officer Franceschi chased the suspect as the driver drove at high speed through the emergency lane and shoulder of the highway. Finally, police performed a pursuit intervention technique pit, pushing the Honda into the wall and apprehending the suspect, identified as Ramo Quintero. Quintero admitted to intentionally crashing into the patrol car. Officer Franceschi suffered minor injuries, but no one else was injured. Quintero was charged with aggravated assault on a police officer, fleeing and eluding, and leaving the scene of an accident causing injury. On April 30, 2023, in Evesham Township, New Jersey, Mark Ferraiolo, 24, drove at a high rate of speed and fled from police. After being discovered at his home, Ferraiolo intentionally crashed into multiple police cars, including one with a K-9 dog inside. Ultimately, his car stopped running and police had to break the window to make the arrest. Ferraiolo was charged with attempted murder of a police officer, aggravated assault, and criminal vandalism. His wife, Ruth Patton, was charged with terroristic threats and obstruction of justice. The incident caused approximately $45,000 in damage to each police vehicle and neighbor's vehicle. On January 14, 2024, in Los Angeles, Mark Gonzalez drove recklessly and led police on a chase. After losing sight of them during the initial pursuit, police found Gonzalez and continued the chase. The pursuit ended when Gonzalez hit a curb and exited the vehicle with a pistol. When Gonzalez disobeyed orders and raised his gun, police shot him. Gonzalez was hit and arrested. He was taken to hospital in stable condition. During the pursuit, Gonzalez shot and hit a person in a car stopped at a traffic light, who was treated and released from the hospital the same day. A Glock 9mm pistol was recovered at the scene.
You want us to pick it up? Nope, let L1 take it.
On August 16, 2020, in Deltona, Florida, Kevin Morales, 24, fled from a Daytona Beach Shores Department of Public Safety officer when he was stopped for speeding.
Negative, he's passing. Stand by, he might be getting off here. He's exiting onto Saxon.
Morales continued to flee through the Port Orange Police Department and Daytona Beach Police Department before being discovered by Air One. When the car had a flat tire, Morales lost control and crashed into a ditch. Morales was arrested and faces charges of fleeing, reckless driving, not having a driver's license, and having an invalid license plate. No one was injured in the crash, and Morales' passenger was released without charges.
White male coming out the driver's side. He's not.
On June 1, 2023, in Flagler County, Florida, Frank Clement Jr., 52, crashed his Ford Ranger into a fire hydrant at a racetrack gas station, causing water to flow into the drain. Clement Jr., who showed signs of being drunk, acted threateningly to the police and attacked them when trying to make an arrest. He was handcuffed and treated for his injuries at Adventhelth Palm Coast before being taken to Sheriff Perry Hall Detention Center. Clement Jr. faces charges of drunk driving, property damage, assaulting a police officer, and reckless driving. On April 1, 2023, in Phoenix, Arizona, police responded to a fight at an apartment complex near 14th Street and Bell Road. After receiving a second call about a man breaking a window and holding a gun, police found the man in the apartment complex's parking lot. When police ordered him to drop the gun, the man fired one shot into the air. The officers opened fire to control and separate the gun from him. The man died at the scene, and no one else was injured. The gun has been recovered. On March 29, 2023, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, police responded to a dispute in the area of 4700 Glendale Road, NW, after receiving a report of Francisco Macias, 32, shooting a gun and attacked his mother and aunt. Upon arrival, police found Macias armed and ordered him to drop the gun. Macias then pointed the gun at his friend, leading police to fire 37 times. No one was hit, and Macias and two friends fled to the backyard. A friend of Macias struggled and threw the gun away. Police used foam bullets and a taser to arrest Macias. He was shot in the leg and arrested, but was later released, and all charges against him were dropped at the request of the victims. On January 19, 2023, in Jacksonville, Florida, detectives from the Narcotics and Vice Division were surveilling a drug dealer, Brian Brightman, and discovered drug transactions from a van. When the arrest was attempted, Eric Nathaniel Thornton, 38, sat in the driver's seat, opened the door and fled with a knife. On November 22, 2022, in Jacksonville, Florida, Tyree O'Neill Jr., 29, died after a pursuit and interaction with police. O'Neill, a two-time convicted felon who is prohibited from carrying weapons, is a suspect in a Sept. 21 killing in a hotel parking lot and another shooting Oct. 26 in a gas station. When officers arrived to arrest O'Neill at 2200 Ernest Street, he ran away and pulled out a rifle. Although police fired warning shots, O'Neill continued to run and tried to hit the officers with his car. Ultimately, multiple officers fired at O'Neill, killing him at the scene. Weapons analysis revealed that O'Neill's handgun was the weapon in both previous cases. On March 1, 2023, in Las Vegas, Nevada, Lorraine Alvarado, 31, and two accomplices committed an armed robbery at a business on West Sahara Avenue, then fled with a black Mercedes-Benz was stolen. When LVMPD officers attempted to stop the vehicle, Alvarado collided with another vehicle and fled, gun in hand. When Alvarado pointed her gun at officers Justin Garcia and Jacob Barr, they opened fire, hitting her. Alvarado was taken to Sunrise Hospital in critical condition and later booked into the Clark County Detention Center. She was charged with armed robbery, attempted robbery, vehicle theft, illegal possession of a firearm. On April 10, 2023, in Salem, Oregon, Oregon State Police Trooper Andrew Tuttle responded to an incident on Interstate 5 I-5 near milepost 254, where he discovered a man with a gun, Felipe Amezcua Manzo, 31, was threatening drivers. When Tuttle approached Amezcua Manzo, he pointed a gun at the drivers and fled toward the grass shoulder. Even though police officer Tuttle ordered Amezcua Manzo to lie down, the suspect continued to run and turned to shoot at Tuttle. Tuttle responded by returning fire, but during the gunfight, he was temporarily blinded by the blue light from the Amezcua Manzo's laser. After Amezcua Manzo continued to attack, Tuttle fired several more shots until the suspect fell to the grass. Paramedics arrived and determined Amezcua Manzo died at the scene from multiple gunshot wounds to the chest, back, and head. Near Amezcua Manzo's body, police found a gun with a laser light and blue sight. Officer Tuttle only suffered a scratch on his left arm, and no one else was injured in the incident. On December 31, 2022, a dangerous pursuit in Tulsa, Oklahoma resulted in the death of Cody Foos. Foos, while driving, committed several dangerous acts, including pulling a gun out of the car and shooting at police 3 times. When Lythorse Police of the Muscogee Creek Nation and Tulsa Police finally successfully deflated Foos' tires, he stopped at Rose Hill Cemetery. Here, Foos appeared with a short-barreled shotgun and a semi-automatic pistol. In response to the threat from Foos, police opened fire on him, causing serious injuries. Foos died at the scene. The officers involved were placed on temporary administrative leave, but the district attorney's DA office later decided not to press charges and dropped the charges against them. On January 5, 2021, in the area of 2500 Wickersham Lane in Austin, Texas, an officer-involved shooting occurred, killing Alexander Gonzalez, 27, and injuring the passenger in the vehicle. The incident began when off-duty officer Gabriel Gutierrez shot at Gonzalez's car after he acted suspiciously. When officers Luis Serrato and Neno from a PD arrived at the scene, Gonzalez got out of his car and opened fire toward them. The officers responded by returning fire, resulting in Gonzalez's death. The injured passenger was taken to the hospital, and an infant in the vehicle was uninjured. A gun was found on the driver's side floorboard. Footage from police body cameras, security cameras, and videos from witnesses recorded part of the incident. Salt Lake City, Utah. Early in the morning of April 2nd, police arrived at a Chevron gas station and encountered Cameron Cloward, 36, holding a knife and threatening the employee. Cloward refused to stop and continued toward the police. The result, 4 police officers had to use force, and Cloward was no longer able to riot anymore. The officers are currently on paid administrative leave while the investigation continues. Muskogee, Oklahoma. On the evening of August 26th, police stopped a car because of a technical error and discovered that passenger Jordan Pierce, 23 years old, had an arrest warrant. Pierce was not at all gentle, pointing a gun at the police, leading to the police shooting him. After being treated at the hospital, Pierce was detained. The good news is that no officers were injured, and they are on paid administrative leave while the incident is investigated.
You good? Everybody's good?
I'm trying to shut up. I'm trying. All I did was pull it out of here. I wasn't going to pull it on y'all.
That was dumb, man.
On August 25th, police responded to a domestic violence incident involving 37-year-old Emmanuel Blanco Cruz. When they arrived, they found Cruz in the garage with a large knife. Despite being asked to drop his weapon, Cruz continued to advance toward the police and brandished the knife like an MMA star. The police were forced to open fire, hitting Cruz. Despite receiving emergency medical assistance, Cruz did not survive and was declared dead at the hospital. Indian River County, Florida.on, October 4th, 2023, Nicholas David Parchesco, 28, decided to go on a high-speed getaway on I-95. After receiving a report from the Jupiter Police Department about a stabbing involving Parchesco, Indian River County Sheriff's deputies immediately stepped in, setting up a trap at the southern county line. With the support of the Hawk helicopter, they quickly discovered Parchesco's car and stopped it before he could run away. Parchesco was arrested without injury and faces several serious charges, including attempted murder. He is currently being held in the Indian River County Jail on $100,000 bail. Information about the stabbing victim has not yet been released.
Sarge, you want me to leave here?
On the evening of June 7th, 2023, William Gerald Jerry Hefner, 57, led police on a dramatic chase while driving his red pickup truck at speeds of more than 100 mph.
He's continuing northbound on.
Hefner sped through a red light, nearly hitting several other cars, and even ran across the yard to escape the police. The chase ended when he crashed into a power pole. Hefner was arrested and is facing multiple serious charges related to the death of 48-year-old Matthew Smith. He is being held on $1 million bail and will appear in court on June 20th.